Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Tuesday Tips, brought to you by Hunt with Deed Official. It's Carter here with Chet. Colorado meets Georgia. What's going on, Chet?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm here. How are you
just
doing?
got off a 12-hour shift?
Yeah, I worked all night.
Heck yeah. Quiet night? Exciting night?
No, not quiet at all. Busy, man. Been busy.
Busy. Do you work the ER or ICU?
ICU. A little bit of both. I do like a role. So I'm either in the ICU or we have like a SWAT role at the hospital. So basically, I just have a pager and a phone. I sit in the ICU, and then if something pops off in the hospital, I just go and respond to it.
There you go.
So I spent most of my night in the ER last night.
Hell yeah. Exciting stuff.
I guess.
All right, dude, let's jump into it. We're talking running, right? That's why Chet's on here. Chet, you're a pretty serious runner. You actually just completed a pretty sweet looking race, man.
Yeah, I had a marathon 2 weeks ago now. I have another one in a week and a half. So
another marathon?
Yeah, I haven't decided what my goal is this year. I don't really set goals with running. I've learned that that's a recipe for failure. More or less just like not having any limits.
Yeah.
It's my new way about going about it. So I have another marathon in a week and a half. Quick turnaround. I think I'm leaving straight from the finish line to Western Hunt Fest. So
yeah.
I'll just be wobbling around all day. But I was gonna do a marathon a month for the year, something like that. But that'll be the beginning of June. I think June 1st is that one, and then I'm looking at a 50K trail race in July, and then possibly a 100-miler in August. So
yeah. Heck yeah, dude. That's intense. I try to do a half marathon a year. That's it.
Still good, man. Half marathon. Most people can't do it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, running sucks, man. Universally, I think that's easy to agree on, but like that's why runners like it. You learn to love it. So what would you say to people who like want to get into running? You know, tags are being drawn now. People should be planning physically training for hunts that are coming up this fall. Never a bad idea to incorporate some running and some cardio into your plans, especially as long as you have good running form to prevent injury. But what would you, kind of talk to listeners about when it comes to running?
Just staying consistent with it. I think, at least for me, the biggest thing I had to hurdle personally was like I remember like in high school I'd wake up before school like 4:30, 5 a.m. and go running with one of my buddies before school. Not every day, but like at least 2 days a week. So I always liked running, and the idea of it. I always felt a little more fit. Then transition into the military, like my best mile in the military was almost sub 5. So I was pretty fast. And then as I got older, I was like, fuck running, dude. I'm just gonna lift. And so just like I'd run here and there, but never consistent. So when I picked it back up probably like a year and a half ago, I wanted to immediately go back to like my basic training days. And I was like, okay, I'm going to injure myself. So I found myself with, like shin splints and, inflamed Achilles and all this stuff, hamstrings, IT bands, everything everybody like immediately like gets hit with and then like quits running. I just kind of stuck it out, stretched often, like picked up a different mindset towards it. Like, you know what? Why don't I just start out, build a very like good base, and then go from there with it. One of my buddies back home is a very good runner. He's very fast. He does a lot more road racing, but still hits the trail here and there from PA. So he writes my plans, and then I have a few friends that I help plan for out here. So it keeps me accountable, because if I was doing my own plan, it would probably, I don't know, I feel like I would have more opportunity to like not do something, or that makes sense.
Yep. 100%. Yeah. Having a good coach or an accountability partner for me, like I need to be on the hook financially. That's where I
Mm-hmm.
am successful, accountability wise. So like I'll pick a race in like whatever March. I'll go run the Atlanta half marathons, big public marathon and a half marathon. I'll pay for that, and then that keeps me on the hook with my training, so I stay consistent.
Sure.
You know, that's huge. And like you said, like a lot of people quit once those first injuries come about, and those injuries are happening because you know you're using parts of your body you're not used to, and they're feeling stress that they are not used to, and the muscles around those areas are overcompensating. And that's where that inflammation and tendonitis and whatever comes from. So you need to stick with it and push through that. But also, like, a tip I would say is like runners need to be in the gym. Runners need to be lifting.
For sure. That's no doubt.
Yeah, a lot of running specific lifts that you can do that will make your running experience far more pleasurable, and you'll get faster. When I started lifting and stopped just like running to get faster, when I started actually lifting for running, I got faster. And so that's like really important, especially when it comes to like the push pull that your legs are doing. Strengthening different parts of your lower quads or like your calves or whatever is going to help exponentially.
Oh, for sure, dude. I spend a good 5 to 6 days a week in the gym, on top of my running. So like an average run week for me, mileage aside, is usually like 4 to 5 runs a week. And I'm lifting 6 for sure. And I don't feel like without the lifting, I wouldn't be as fast or be able to run as far for sure. I just feel that there's like 3 types of like athletes nowadays. You have like your pure bodybuilders that are suck at cardio. You have like cardio freaks that are built like string beans but can run 4-minute miles for whatever, a 10K or a half marathon, or even a marathon. But they're not strong at all. So the things that we like to do in our community require you to be strong and have good cardio. So I like to be more on the hybrid side of things, where I can still go into the gym and put up 225 on the bench press, but go outside and go run 20 some miles.
Yep. I agree. We share that.
Like mobility work is super key. My buddy really got me into doing a lot of mobility work and a lot of hip stabilization stuff and shit. I'm like, I go to hot yoga sometimes with a friend from work. And I was surprised at first. Like I went in there and all these like old women are kicking my ass. Like, I'm like, man, they're so flexible. So I've been working on my flexibility, and it's definitely like helped out a lot.
Yeah, that's huge. I'd also say like, invest in a good pair of shoes, spend the money on a good pair of shoes, go somewhere where someone can analyze your gait and your foot and get the right pair. Don't just buy offline. Yep. That's a good way to
injure yourself right there.
Running very quickly.
Yeah, I was just having this conversation with my buddy. We were talking about like the new fad right now is everybody wearing like carbon plate shoes, which they do help like propel you, and you do get a little more speed, but they make your what you're used to training in. Like if you just throw on a carbon plate shoe and go run a marathon, you're going to come out of that not being able to walk 100%. Like there's no doubt about it. You're going to tear up your Achilles. The arches of your feet are going to hurt. It's just not worth it. Like if you're not trying to push like some kind of Olympic trial marathon time, then there's no point in injuring yourself.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
100%. Yeah. So if you're looking to get into it, get yourself a good pair of shoes. Definitely stay in the gym. Maybe set a goal, have a race in mind, and go ahead and sign up for it, right? Even if you're like, there's no way I can run a half marathon or whatever.
Yeah.
pick one several months out and sign up for it and train.
Yeah, there's this chick I work with. She just kind of started at the hospital like probably 4 or 5 months ago, and I was already into my running and stuff, and I heard her talking about, hey, I signed up for this half marathon. It's actually today or tomorrow in Denver, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, is anybody helping you out, or are you just sending it? And she's like, I'm just been trying to run 5 miles a day every day as hard as I can. I was like, no, man, you're gonna hurt yourself, and that's not even how you're supposed to train. So I kind of like sat down with her and showed her some of the stuff that I was doing, and explained to her like zone training. So helped her build a little base, and like 90% of her runs were all in zone 2. So her heart rate was in the 130s, 140s, and then all of a sudden her times were faster. She was able to run longer and stay injury free. So I expect her to do pretty good tomorrow at the half marathon. But yeah, a lot of people just put on shoes and then go as hard as they can. They don't stretch good. In the longer runs, people aren't fueling well. So not getting those electrolytes, not eating some gels or something to keep them fueled. I think that's been a big key for me. I got my fueling like down pat. Now, granted, in the marathon, the last like 10K sucked for me. Like my feet were fine, my body felt fine, I was breathing fine, but I just could not. The gels that I was eating, I went up there the day before and had a drop bag hidden in a guardrail at like mile 13. And I had Onyx because it was a course where you didn't have service for like the first 16 miles. There was no fans, nothing. It was just up through the mountains. So it was pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I have my Onyx. I'm going to drop a pin here. And when I get to it, I'll just run over, hurry up, chug this drink, and then, refill my fanny with some gels. And I blew right past it, and it was on a downhill portion. And I was like, I'm not turning around and getting that. So I just kept going. My earbuds died. So it was a grind the last 5-6 miles for sure.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah.
I haven't pulled the trigger on a full yet.
You should do it, man.
Half I finish, I'm like, that's enough. I don't need to do it.
No interest. You should get into some trail running, man. I love trail running. There's something different about the road is fun, especially if you're really consistent with your running and you can like go out and have fun with it. But there's just something, a whole nother beast with trails, man. You got elevation, the mountains, the terrain is uneven. Get some good views and whatnot. But I think the trail running in the ultra space is just gonna like keep like exploding.
Yeah, I think what you just said is really important, and that's have fun with it, right? Whether you're not a runner and want to get into it, have fun with it. It shouldn't be like the most hated part of your fitness regimen. Otherwise, you're not going to keep doing it. So have fun with it. Running's sweet. Avoid injury. Stay safe. And it's kind of the dream.
That's what I say. Like, every day it gets easier, but the hardest part is, being able to do it every day. I don't know. Just got to get out and do it. I've always like a few times I'm like, man, I really do not want to run today. But then sometimes those are my best run days.
Right.
And I get done and I'm like, damn, I want to go run and do that again because that was amazing. So I've never had, not once in the past like 2 years, if I went for a run and come back and like, damn, I wish I didn't run.
That'll keep you coming back.
Yeah. I mean, you lose weight, you start to slim down, and like, I just feel a lot better, like physically. And it all translates into September, man. Like come elk season, like last year, I can't wait to see how I am this year with the ruck on and up pounding miles in with my bow. But last year, man, I was grooving. I was moving fast. I never got tired. I was hardly drinking water, which is not a great thing. But I wasn't training with it the first like 4 or 5 months running. I did it kind of on purpose to prep for September because I don't always have like an abundance of water up there where I hunt. Um, and it worked out. Like I was like, yeah, man, I'm cool with like 1 Camelback a day. I was doing fine.
Efficient.
Yeah, I never burn out or anything like that. So, and then when I do implement like a lot of fuel and a lot of water, man, I like smoke everything that I'm doing.
Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, cool, dude. You got any final thoughts for folks on running?
I think if you think that you're interested in it, then you should just send it and do it. Go get a good pair of shoes without a carbon plate, just normal running, everyday training shoes, good ankle support, and build a base. So nice and slow and easy for a couple months, and working some speed work, and then pick a race and go after it.
Hell yeah. Appreciate it, Chet. Listeners, as always, we appreciate the hell out of you guys. We'll talk to you next week.